Good evening, everyone. We are here to talk about some betting, lines, movement, a little bit of how much we had as a weekend, if we did good, if we did bad, how much judges are absolutely fucking horrible. I guess is one topic I'd love to talk about later. How you doing, Usman?
What's it going, brother? What is it going? Just got everything settled up. I am ready to go over what happened last night.
That's great. I didn't really get to watch everything live. I had to rewatch it because I went to one of those ugly sweater parties and got way too intoxicated. But I did get to watch like everything on demand with like ESPN Plus, so it was, which is like awesome because you can watch everything in like fucking an hour. Uh,
Yeah, just zooming through all that shit. I think it was
oh
in
heck yeah!
between. I think it was in between the Elliott fight, and the Nasrat fight. They went on a super long ass fucking commercial break. I was like, yo, let's get this shit started.
No doubt, man. Sometimes it's just so horrible, especially on the big cards on Saturdays when they're trying to compete with boxing and stuff like that. So they're trying to hit like the perfect time to get the most views. Just start the goddamn fight. So, did you hit anything big? I mean, I know I got fucked by Park, of course, but he got fucked by the judges because there's no way in hell you can try and tell me that that turtle dude lost that fight. There's no way.
Um, yeah, I was wondering what you were talking about. Judging wise, and yeah, that was pretty shitty, man.
I mean, even for the split decision, it blew my mind. I mean, how in the hell can you try and say he won 2 rounds? He never even put him into actual danger of a finish. There was, I mean, let me check real quick, but I don't remember an actual submission attempt.
No, there was a couple of times where he was fishing one arm for the rear naked, but like never a full on
There's,
double
yeah,
hand.
there's no marks on the UFC stats site stating that there was a submission attempt. So we have Andre Muniz had 9 minutes and 34 seconds of control time. He landed 14 of 30 in his significant strikes to Park, 27 out of 60. He had 2 minutes and 58 seconds of control time, but the takedowns is they have it marked at 11 of 14 attempts. So, I mean, this is a total nut hug, lay and pray style that I thought was the thing of the past, and now people can still get wins like that.
I think it was, and I usually stand up for him, and I will continue as being the best active ref right now. Um, but my boy Jacob Montalvo, he was one of the guys that squirted for Muniz, and the guy owns, I think, a couple jujitsu schools.
Yeah.
I've been able to meet him personally and whatnot, and he usually destroys it in the reffing job. But as soon as I heard that he was the last judge to go by the scoring, I was like, "Son of a bitch! It's the damn back control." And like I get it, it is a very advantageous spot, but you still got to do something, man,
Still
because
got to try and finish.
that's what it, yeah, that's what it was. It was that back control with the body triangle. And it's like, I get it. And it is a shitty spot to be in. But also, you didn't do absolutely anything with it.
Yeah. And that's the whole object of the game is to finish. It's not how much longer your team's had the ball. Every other game, you still got to fucking score. I mean, this isn't grappling. The object of the game. I mean, I guess it's a part of it, but that's supposed to be like way last on the list, meaning the other person didn't punch you either. I mean, in the first round, uh, Park ends for the last 45 seconds or so, he's on full mount, landing fucking elbows. How in the hell did he not steal the first round with that? And then that's how the third round goes. It's the same thing. Yeah, he gets taken down, but
Yeah.
he starts pounding on the ground and hitting him. And you're going to try and tell me that that's not, you know, that's not close enough to winning in a decision. You just get more credit for, you know, lamb praying style of just holding on for dear life. I mean, he didn't do anything with it. You punched the guy 14 times. I mean, his total, what's the total strikes? Because they always show that. The full total strikes out of his, he threw 30, got 14, and then they always used to put the distance strikes. He had another 39 attempted with only 13 landing. So, that one freaking pissed me off. But other than that, I think a lot of people were pretty pissed off uh, on the Steven Garcia.
Steve Garcia. Versus the Melly Costa
Yeah,
fight.
the stupid hair
Yeah.
coloring thing that he came out in. Yeah, right, he look weird. Who gives a shit if you got some damn. It looks like a kid playing with a fucking paint. That's what the guy's hair looked like. What the hell was it even for?
Well, I think he's. It's one of those things where it's like, man, I got this vitiligo all over my body. Another little. I gotta do another little
Yeah.
something just to
No,
create
you
some
don't.
distraction.
You already look like you're from a different planet, dude.
Yeah, I saw somebody say he came in dressing camouflage. It's like,
Oh, that's
but
great.
he looked good up until Garcia just said, "Fuck it, I'm gonna throw everything at this kid. He ain't gonna take it," and he couldn't take it.
Well, that's what I thought. But wasn't the Costa guy supposed to be his stand up? But he was terrified to stand with fucking Steve. You know, I mean, he was like, nope, I'm going to go for the grappling part of it. And I didn't really think that Costa guy was really a grappler.
Well, he had six submissions going into the fight.
Mm-hmm.
But we had most recently just seen his striking in the actual UFC.
Yeah.
So I like watching it. I think I had first round submission and that shit didn't hit. But watching it, I was kind of liking what I was seeing, because I was like, all right, showing another edge to your game, and this fight is a little boring, but definitely showing a different part of his game, and we know Garcia comes in hard these first 5 minutes, so smart idea to try and slow him down a bit, and that didn't help him at all.
Guy's got a lot of power, man. I bet on him a long time ago because I picked him as soon as I seen he's a dog. I was like, all right, I threw like one unit on him a long time ago. And then I heard a lot of people talking up this Costa guy. So then I watched some tape on him and I was like, yeah, he's definitely got some decent stand up. You got to give him a little bit of respect on that. His size is kind of big. I mean, I didn't really see. I mean, I think I remember seeing that on paper about it, but I never watched any of his submission fights or really research those guys to see what their records are. Because you know sometimes you get, yeah, they got submissions, but it was all freaking debut guys or some shit, or it's back in their country. So it was in like Brazil or something like that in their beginning of their careers. Uh, so I thought it was pretty good. And then that sickness or whatever happened, and I was like, man, I might get screwed on this. So I didn't put any more money, even though I still thought Steve Garcia was going to win from the beginning. But so I did hit the one unit on it, but I didn't. I would have put in more if it wasn't for him getting sick and stuff like that. Because then I was like, all right, I don't trust it. I gotta get out.
What book do you use?
That one was all on Bet Online.
Did you notice that BetOnline is carrying over bets with that fallen off?
No. Tell more.
Yeah, so I know Trace had brought it up, but I was tripping out because I wasn't really going to play much for this card.
Mm-hmm.
I only had one parlay going into the night and no straight plays. I usually put all my plays in like right as the fights are gonna happen.
Mm-hmm.
But I go and I look at my one parlay, see what am I working with, and I saw I had three parlays going, and I was like, "What the fuck is this?"
Mm-hmm.
I clicked on the other two, and they were already a loser parlay from last week, but they hadn't been graded yet because that Melky Garcia fight was going on this week, and it still said pending, and they didn't grade it until after the fight had finished. And then Trey said in the chat as well, he was like, "Man, I thought I got my fucking money back because the fight got canceled." But they gave him his money back and then took it away because Melky lost, and they still graded it as a loss. So
Uh, Damn.
it's something to know with Bet Online that doesn't give you that cash out option.
Yeah, that is
They're
a
they're
big
not
thing
going
about it.
to.
Yeah, they're not going to give you any shit. I had one time where it acted like I didn't win for like a decision or something like that. It was like I took the decision. Why in the hell is it not paying me for that? And then like an hour later, it fixed itself. But I haven't had it in any close ones like that. But you gotta watch it. You gotta remember, man. These are books. They're not following all the rules. If you notice when you put money on it, it doesn't even look like a company. It doesn't say Bet Online in your card. It looks like some
Yeah,
random clothing company. So what do you expect? They're breaking all kinds of fucking laws too. They don't give a shit. What are you gonna do? Call the fucking HR department?
yeah. So they ain't voiding your tickets now. If the fight's gonna happen, it's gonna happen. They're gonna still take your money.
Fuck yeah. They don't care. I did watch a little funny video on that Shannon Ross guy where a guy was making a guess that when Shannon Ross was on the Ultimate Fighter, or not the Ultimate Fighter, on Dana White Contender Series, he fought and had could have had a ruptured spleen because he had the doctors checked and let him go. So he almost had a ruptured spleen. So they think that a payoff was to give him a like 3 fight contract just so he wouldn't sue the company.
Yeah, probably not. They're just using a can to fucking push other people. You know how many times um a lot of us come in here and just say fade Asians, fade
Yeah.
Asians. It's like not when they're putting Shannon Ross in front of you.
Oh, without a doubt. But it made, I mean, what they were saying kind of made sense because it was like, this guy sucks. And if you're going to be picky on people who come from the contender series, why in the hell would you give this guy a contract? Like, there's no way he would do it. He lost. He got knocked out in his fucking. The only time those guys get anything is as a fill-in. They don't get fucking contracts.
Yeah.
How else do you explain it? The guy loses in contender series and gets like a 3 fight, gets his ass kicked in every single one. They still freaking keeping him.
I'm telling you, they saw him and said, you know what? This guy sucks just enough so that we can boost somebody else.
Yeah.
Like who did he fight in his debut? I can't remember off the top of my head.
Let's see, Shannon.
Like his Yeah, like his actual debut. Jesus Aguilar and Clayton Rodriguez.
Yeah.
Yeah, they wanted to push Clayton. Look, I mean, and that's the thing too. Like you just look at his UFC thing. It's KO'd in 59 seconds in round one,
Mm-hmm.
KO'd in 17 seconds in round one,
Holy
and then
shit.
KO'd in 3 minutes in round two of this park fight. So even if they're not really trying to push anybody, they're saying at least this guy's gonna get memed and we can make a big thing out of it.
Oh, no doubt. Well, looks like we got quite a lot of visitors that just popped up out of nowhere,
Oh wow! Hey guys, so
huh?
I guess perfect time to. I wasn't even looking at this. Perfect time to run an ad.
No
Check out
kidding.
capmma.com. This is a website that we're working on. It is great for breaking down bets, and it's linked to over 40 books. You got regional odds, global odds. You got a parlay calculator so that you can check your parlays throughout all your books right then and there. We do a show Tuesdays breaking down rumors and headlines. We do a show Friday where we actually break down the card and give you our best bets. And then Sunday, we're talking about line movement here, what cashed, what didn't, and all that good stuff. So that's capmma.com. We also got a YouTube channel going now. So give us a check out, por favor. Go ahead and look it up. It's a good website, link to all sites for you to break down fights, stats, all that good stuff.
CapMMA.com. Definitely good, man. So, what about your other little lines? Your fun one. You've been watching that still with the split bets and stuff like that?
Yeah, yeah. So I got that split strat right here, and it looks bad once again, but it's them over 1.5. Some over 1.5. So always throw a wrench into it, and so what you do is you look at the goes to split line. If it's plus 400 or lower, that usually means to hit the over.
Mm-hmm.
That's hitting at 66%, and like I said, to this week we only got one, two, three. Well, I mean, we only had three that fit the strat, and one of them did hit, so 1 for 2. But them over 1.5s, over 1.5s hit like crazy. One, two, three, four, 4 out of the 6. That is hitting at another 63%. And then if you go to the goes the distance line and look at a minus number. So, for instance, the opening fight, Santos versus Alan Carr, was goes the distance minus 150. Betting the over on that is hitting at 73%. Last time I checked, between these last two cards, is probably more like 76%. The only one that missed this one was Nasrat and Malarkey, and well,
Yeah.
Malarkey's chin really screwed that one.
Yeah, I never
But
was
like,
on that. Were you on that side of the malarkey upset? There was a lot of guys I heard talking that.
well, I mean, with the strat saying that it was gonna go over and the goes the distance line saying it was gonna go over,
Yeah.
I definitely hit the over and got burned on that one
Yeah.
with Malarkey getting slapped in that first
I
round.
almost made a bet on that 3.5 thing where I thought he'd at least take a round.
Yeah, yeah, yeah,
Yeah, so I
yeah.
almost got onto that, and then I was like, man, I don't trust that malarkey guy to, because he was a big favorite when he lost his last fight. I'm like, his chin doesn't. There's way too much question into it, and you know, Calvin Gastelum Jr. is still pretty good. I mean, as much as he's had some close fights that haven't really lived up to his name, I I still think he's a pretty decent fighter. So that's why I kind of stayed away from it. I was kind of glad and but not surprised at what happened.
Yeah, fucking. I mean, Nasrat he's been good. Yeah, I believe he trains at a TriStar. It's like in recent fights, I just thought he's all right, but he's not really facing the best competition. And then Malarkey is Malarkey, but he's doing good. He's doing good for a young kid that continues to grow in the UFC. He's getting a little bit better. I don't see much of a ceiling like top 10 or top 15 or top 5, shall I say?
Yeah.
But picking your spots on his fights is gonna do pretty good with you.
Well, and he's now going to have to take on some tougher talent. He's not going to get too many of that you know middle guys like Malarkey that don't really mean anything but keep you on the winning streak. So now he's definitely going to have to take on somebody with a name.
Yeah, and then that'll probably knock him back down into this malarkey zone. Like I don't
Yeah.
like I said, I don't see him getting into the top 10. But it's looking like he'll have a good career here in the UFC, stacking up wins against lower level lightweights.
Yeah. Yeah, I agree with you on that. What about the big fight where Anthony Smith got absolutely destroyed by Roundtree
Uh,
Jr.
I mean, that was one where I did hit that over 1.5,
I
and
hit
that was
that
just
too.
easy money. But geez, I was even
That was
thinking,
scary when you were watching it though, because he almost knocked him the fuck out right at the end of the first.
yeah, yeah. I mean, there was multiple times the first, second, and then that finishing shot there in the third, where it
That
was
was
like,
one of a
oh
kind.
fuck, Anthony's. But also I thought Anthony did all right for himself. Like
No, I think he did
he,
what any guy who's got that much experience. Yeah, he'll stay in there because he
true.
is line hard. He does have the heart of a real fucking fighter. He never quits. That's why people love him so much. And but I mean to come in there, he didn't do any of a attempt of trying to take it to the ground like everybody was talking about. He's just gonna submit him. Oh, he's gonna submit him. It's like Roundtree was so much stronger than him. Also, Anthony Smith
I,
didn't really look like in good shape, in my opinion.
no, I saw people saying he was doing the Megan Anderson walk in when she fought Amanda Nunes, just looking like a ghost. Um, but yeah, yeah. I mean, and then I had seen people talk about fucking Anthony Smith's takedown accuracy being 28%. Like, don't put too much into him getting that takedown, and it was always worth a gamble. But he didn't do none of that. He just said, "Fuck it, let me strike with this crazy powerful striker,
Mm-hmm.
and get memed."
Yeah, wow, man, that was a bad one too.
Yeah, I think it also makes it worse that fucking Khalil walked up to him like if he had a hammer ready to end
Like
his
ready to
life.
end his life. I'm about to hendo you right here at the end. Yeah, that was freaking crazy. But what do you do with Roundtree now? I mean, he's got to be given some real respect, or at least now you got to throw him to a real competition. I mean,
So here's another line for that one that like really freaked me out. Since I've started collecting the data,
mhm.
uh, dogs that flip to favorites are 5-1. Santos, the card opener,
Okay.
was the one loss so far, and also that was a tough 3-round fight. I thought that one Santos won, but I wasn't watching too closely.
I
But
didn't watch the
I
fight.
fucking I freaked out. Roundtree opened at like minus one or plus 158 dog or some shit like that.
On what? On
That
Bet Online?
yeah, on Bet Online.
Maybe for like 5 seconds. Sometimes they do
I
have those. They have those lines that open and then they change within freaking not even a second.
Yeah, those were the only two line flips of this week was Santos and Roundtree, and I was like, whoa, what the fuck? For all the love that people are giving to Roundtree, it's crazy to think that he opened as the dog in this fight.
Yeah.
Like whoever got that line was very very fucking happy about it because
Then they had to have been
he
quick.
did.
I can tell you that.
They smoked that shit.
Yeah. That guy that won the
Yeah.
book, he must have got fired too. Like, I mean, there's no way I could just give Anthony Smith that much of a guess that he was going to win on a short notice fight. You know, I just would never put that close. I'd make it even before I'd freaking make him a solid, moderate favorite.
So yeah, I mean, you got to consider that if Roundtree opened at that like plus 158, that means Smith was minus 200 flat or somewhere around there.
Mm-hmm.
So that's fucking crazy. But Khalil beats number 8, Anthony Smith. So I think actually a good matchup is Volkan Ozdemir right underneath that number 9.
That would be a hell of a fight.
Vulcan also is having a little bit of a late a late career resurgence with the Krylov fight and beating this Guskov fight or this Guskov guy. Um So I think that's a good little fight right there too, man. That's a striker's delight as well. Fucking Vulcan probably shoots a little bit more than Anthony Smith, but
Yeah.
I think that's a good fight right there. Everybody else is basically matched up, I believe.
Or
Yuri just
not
took a
gonna fight,
loss, and
or not gonna fight him.
yeah, yeah. Alexander Rakic is looking for a fight. That's short notice. If Khalil would want to jump off that much, but wait, was it just me or did Khalil call for the championship fight?
I don't know. I don't watch that damn part. I only watch that when it's live because I have to.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I want to say in the post-fight conference, he was like, I understand it's a big jump and people might say I don't deserve it, but I think that's a fight people would really want to see. I think he was talking about Alex Barreta.
Ah,
But hey, I mean, get your name out there, right?
yeah, I mean, you can definitely try. I mean, the best thing I think he could possibly get. I don't know, man. I think you were picking what Kaloff or
Yeah,
Krylov,
I think,
Krylov.
yeah, Ratchich, or
But like, but why
Volkan
would?
Ozdemir. I think
Yeah, but
that's.
why would he take it? You know, Krylov wouldn't take that because now he's on a 3 fight winning streak. So now you fight. You want somebody like Jan or Yuri or something like that. That's what you really want because those guys are there to let you fight for a title shot.
Yeah, that's
It
true.
wouldn't be.
I
I
mean,
wouldn't
hey,
think it would be smart by him. I mean, it's a good fight for Roundtree to take. Yeah, but he gets nothing out of a win over Roundtree. He stays in the same spot.
that's why Roundtree's got to turn it around really quick and fight Alexander Rakic
Yeah,
because he needs a fight. He's been gone for a year and almost
yeah.
a year and a
Haven't even
half.
didn't even fight in 2023.
Yeah, Jan just pulled out of their fight. He's just floating out there. Um, if Khalil could make that turnaround, he should fight that fight right there.
Yeah, but definitely just make him even more talked about because the guy is a brick shit house, man. It is amazing. His whole story is nuts. The Roundtree. Yeah, his
Yeah.
whole story is fucking crazy. But that guy fucking, he's got a
Hey,
lot of speed. He's got a lot of fucking power, man.
all I can think of, man, is dude was 300 pounds, lost a bunch of weight, and then went to live in Thailand and train
Yeah,
over there. I'm sure he got some great
hard kicks,
technique
man.
over
Yeah.
there in Thailand, but I'm sure he also got some great juice. The boy's bricked the
No
hell up.
shit. Whatever he's got the special juice. There's no doubt about that. I totally agree with that. So then the main event
I,
turned out to be pretty fucking boring, huh?
man, I honestly didn't even pay attention to much of it.
Yeah,
I was
that bad. See, so I'm telling you, it sucked.
I'm I'm a big song fan, and I even said Friday. I'm a good fan of Gutierrez as well for a while. Um, but yeah, that shit was just. I mean, it wasn't bad either. It just wasn't very eventful. Like I was really expecting. I was really expecting Song to counter off of those kicks and land some big bombs, but Gutierrez did a great job, even in the small cage, of managing the distance.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't think anybody expected for them to do a leg kick battle and Song really stand there and say like, "Yeah, let's go leg kick and see who gives up first." And it's like, God, man, like give us a little more.
Yeah, I mean, as much as the new calf kick has become part of the game plan or the fight plan now, they are not very entertaining strikes. As much as they're all used in everybody's game package now, it's not fun to watch guys just kick each other because it does turn into like jabs, even though they're obviously good.
Yeah, and That's the thing, man. Both of these guys are so fucking tough. Like we've seen Gutierrez land leg kicks and their legs swell up. They're starting to limp, and at least it's like, oh shit, it
Yeah,
could give out at any time. Neither of these guys were just like, yeah, that leg kick hurt. Let's keep going.
man, they
I
did
was like,
five
fuck.
five rounds. Let's see. Song did throw 283 strikes, landed 160, and then that's out of his total strikes. His actual significant strikes was only 77 out of 165, and they think Chris actually hit him 87 out of 145. So he had a even a higher percentage of significant strikes as well.
Yeah,
So
I
that was
mean,
actually a pretty close
when
fight.
yeah, well, and that's like I wasn't watching closely. Think this was just one of those fights where I just sat there, watched out of the side of my eye, and was like talking with my wife for most of the time.
Mm-hmm.
And I was just thinking of like just thinking, is Gutierrez winning any of these rounds besides the ones like where he was getting taken down?
Mm-hmm.
I was like, man, because I like Song, I really like Song, but a lot of his big power shots just seem to be missing, and maybe it's just what I kept on looking at. I just happened to see the misses, but I was thinking like, fuck, Song ain't landing shit.
Yeah.
Like this is Gutierrez landing a little jab to the body and a leg kick and then skirting on the outside.
Yeah, I mean, if you look at it on paper here, it's definitely pretty fucking close, just on stat wise, because you'd say Gutierrez won the first round and the second round. The only part that goes to Song is a minute 52 in ground control, but significant strikes is by like 11 more. Chris landed. Then you get to the third round. There's no real takedown control. And Chris lands 24 to 17 insignificant strikes. So close round. So the first three almost look like they could have all been won by Chris, but somebody had to have given that second round, I would guess. And then the fourth and the fifth look one sided. Uh,
Well, I think the scorecards were 250-45, so all rounds to Song, and then 150-44, so all rounds
Jeez.
and a fucking 10-8.
How in the heck did he give
Um,
him that? Like the first round says he hit him 29 times of significant strikes
and
in the first round to Song's 17.
yeah, and looking at it, I was like, that's why I was like, out of the side of my eye, I was just like, man, is Gutierrez up 2 rounds in this fucking fight?
Yeah, that's odd. I mean, the only round that looks like you could obviously is the fifth round when someone's doing the 10-8 because it's like 17 to 1. But holy crap, that looks like some library shit there, man. Like you didn't even give him a round?
No
Yeah,
rounds.
no one even gave him a round. Fuck, that makes me want to watch it now, even though it's probably a snooze fest. That's some bad freaking judging.
I mean, I like you said, we probably have to go back and rewatch it because I mean, and that's the thing. Like, I'll quickly push back on saying it's bad judging because it's like it's hard to judge a not good fight. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? Like, fuck, it was that close. When it's that close, you know what? Fuck it. Somebody can take all those fucking rounds. You know what I mean?
But
Just
out of
because.
three judges, there should be one guy that gave him a fucking round. You know, three
Yeah. Yeah.
judges
I mean,
shouldn't
I
get it
get you.
that bad. You know, they should when we're talking close fights. It's the whole reason that there's supposed to be three fucking judges. It's ridiculous. Unbelievable. Ah, I hate judging. But I can see why because Saul was on it, and that's come on, Joe. Let's hear why this was supposed to be all 44 to 50. Let me hear it. You and Saul used to go out to lunch every Tuesday.
He says, "Man, I have 17 kids right now. I can't get on the mic." No, I feel you, Joe. I feel you. Sometimes my wife be giving me them side eyes saying, "Motherfucker, you're gonna go talk to your internet friends again?"
Without a doubt.
Um,
Uh,
but so song really cut that promo talking about wanting Peter Yan again, and
yeah, why not?
I'd like to see that fight.
Yeah, why not? I think both of them can win from it too. That wouldn't hurt
Yeah,
anybody.
I'm a Pewter hater and a Song fan. So I still think fucking Song wins that fight. I know people were like down on Song after watching that last night, but
Hmm.
I think it's just different fights. We know who Piotr is, and he's not going to do the game plan of fucking kick and run away like Gutierrez did. No, these guys
Yeah.
are gonna meet in the middle, and like Song said, let's see whose boxing is better. Give me the young kid, man. Give me the fucking 27-year-old with crazy power to fucking put a hurting on Piotr Jan, because my biggest issue, and this is you'll see a trend on like fighters that I really dislike are fighters with really good striking that the fan base blows out of proportion and talks about them like they're god when their striking defense is some real dog shit sometimes, and it's like Pewter is good. One thing that I say about his offense is it seems to be like the same four combos, but like he's also there to be hit most of the time. Like he's right there, right in front of you, and that's the same issue that I have with Corey Sandhagen. A lot of people know that I'm a big Corey Sandhagen hater, and it's like, man, Corey has great fucking footwork, but when he throws, he stops to throw right in front of you. And a lot of the reasons why Piotr got him in that fight was because he was stopping to punch, where both of them are right in front of each other. And then Piotr would throw that damn left hook or straight, and then boom, now he's all wobbled and shit. So I'm not a Piotr fan. I think Song would probably take advantage of that, and when they meet in the middle, Song will land some good strikes on him. I would be very happy to see that fight ran back after this cancellation.
I definitely think it's going to be a hell of an entertaining fight. No doubt about that. I mean, both of them like to freaking, stay on the feet. So that's the whole boxing thing that they're trying to compete for. So, heck yeah, I'll watch it. That would be a hell of a fight. Both of them hit hard. I mean, I was never on the train of, Perry was going to be this long time champion or some shit because there was a lot of guys that used to talk like that. Uh,
Oh, there were guys that said he was pound for pound goat,
oh,
like
yeah.
pound for pound
They-
number one in the whole
yeah.
UFC, and I hated it. I
Yeah. I
hated
was
it.
like, he hasn't even proven that much. I mean, Aldo was kind of kicking his ass until he decided to be an idiot and go for like a stupid takedown. So I didn't think he was that impressive. Also you beat, later Aldo who doesn't do his kicks anymore and all that shit. So I never
He beat Uriah Faber
yeah,
for the belt.
yeah.
Like, yeah, I can go off on Pierre
Without a
Yan.
doubt, I agree with you. So it amazes me that there was so much, nut hugging on him at that freaking time.
Chris,
That was still crazy how many people popped in here. You know why, right?
oh yeah,
Yeah,
for
that's
sure,
fucking
and
crazy. You know how many people
sucks
requested to
that
get in? No,
no,
dude, they were popping up like no. I had like four requests, and then you started hitting the site, and the one guy who requested kept on doing down thumbs the entire time you were doing it.
I know that fucker.
And then there was like all of them were gone. It was like just a fucking cloud of goddamn sheep flying through. God damn, that's fucking crazy.
Following following Mr. Danis. He
Yeah,
gave us some
yeah.
views while he was
Fuck
here.
yeah, he did. I wonder if he got like
But
one fucking follow out of that. Let's see.
I got one follow. Um, Chris Gutierrez. I think. I don't know if they'll make him fight down in his next fight, but give him fucking Dominic Cruz. I'm tired of seeing Dominic Cruz's name there holding a fucking rank hostage. Like, Rank 10, either fight or vacate, in the words of Tony Ferguson.
Fire vacate your ranking.
Yeah, so it's enough, Dominic Cruz.
Dominic Cruz. Jeez, I've never been a fan of his. Not like a super hater or anything like that, but
I'll I'll throw a little love to Joe while he's here. I'm sure he'd love to hear it. Shout out the fucking Tim Elliott call, man. Um, Tim Elliott wrecks Sumadurgi.
he
And there was a
sucks.
time where,
New Jersey
yeah,
sucks. Though.
I right as he was walking out. I don't know if it was him walking out or Tim walking out, but the commentating team said, all five losses from Surmadurgi are by submission. I was like, cool. Let me just slam fucking Tim Elliott by submission right now.
Mm-hmm.
And that was a great fucking cash. I wish I would have fucking hit Tim Elliott submission round one too, because that was easy fucking money.
Without a doubt. Because when I didn't put a lot on it because I didn't really like short notice picks. Uh, so like I kind of stayed away from it. But when I was listening to a lot of people talk about Tim picking this up, and then I had, of course, a bad comment that I hear. Someone said he's only been in the gym twice in the last couple months. And I was like, well, that I don't like to hear. Yeah. But then I watched,
Yeah,
yeah, and then I watched some of, what's the guy's name? How do you say it?
Sumadurgi.
So Georgie, I watched a couple of his fights and I was like, okay, I understand why everybody's saying Tim Elliott's gonna win this. I was like, this guy sucks, and Tim Elliott's just crazy, so he's gonna throw people off. Like, definitely a hard guy to fight because you just don't know what the fuck he's gonna do. I mean, what did he do? A somersault, fucking, you know,
The Rolling
yeah,
Thunder,
like a
right,
Rolling
to open up the
Thunder,
fucking.
with the heel to start. I mean that type of
Yeah.
stuff. You just no one's gonna see that fucking coming, and if you suck, that doesn't help you anymore. That's crazy.
Did you happen to watch the Kanan Song versus Giuseppe fight?
No,
Uh,
was it close?
I didn't really. No, no. Giuseppe will definitely won. I think I don't know what the judges scored it, but I think I gave
Let's
it
see.
30-27 to this Giuseppe guy, and
Well, there was a lot of
pretty
love for
pretty.
him. There was definitely. He was. Oh, he beat the shit out of him. Yes, all three judges, 27-30.
Yeah, yeah. There was. And Kanan Song got in there and landed a couple of his shots. I think it was early, probably in the first round and maybe the first half of the second round. But
I mean, he
Giuseppe,
landed some strikes, but he was double every single 21-45, 22-43, 19-46. Like,
yeah, that's why it was good to see Giuseppe. Like Kanan Song's got a little bit of power, and he ate that on the chin. He's a super pasty white boy, so his face
mm-hmm.
turned a little bit
Oh,
red.
yeah.
But that jab, the leg kick, fucking all day. Good performance by Giuseppe.
And that helps him for his next fight, too, especially to come off of that. Because that was his debut, right?
I believe so in the UFC. I believe so.
Yeah. Absolutely insane. What are you looking forward to on anything on this next Saturday, the big pay per view? And saving all your beer
The big.
cans so you can get a pay per view this Saturday.
No, man. I think I'm gonna try and get a babysitter for babysitter. I'm gonna try to get my parents to
Yeah.
have their kids spend the night so I could go out with the homeboys and stay up till 1 in the morning for the damn pay per view.
Oh yeah. Oh,
I'll
you mean midnight? You don't stay up as late as we have to. You don't know what it's like.
yeah, true, true.
Three sheets to the wind. Fucking wondering who's gonna be up. There's a lot of. I mean,
But
there's a nice card, man. There's a lot of fucking tight stuff. I can't stand fucking Bryce Mitchell anymore.
Oh, I know you hate Bryce Mitchell, right?
I don't mind him. Well, I know he's a goofy like weirdo and everything like that, but his fighting, like his love that he's getting for his fighting, to me is like I can't stand it because I'm like his fucking stand up is still so bad. There's no way this guy's ever wearing gold.
We'll see. We'll see if Josh Emmett can stop them takedowns and make him pay for it.
Well, I would say Emmett's definitely going to land because Bryce gets punched in every fight. You know.
Yeah, that's a risky one. I know I'm looking at a dog, and this is a dog that I was looking at since it got announced. Ariana Lipsky versus Casey O'Neill.
Yeah.
Um, Off the top of my head, I mean, Casey O'Neill just has never really impressed, and that's another fighter where everybody loves her. Maybe it's because of the attitude
Mm-hmm.
and because she's a tall, pretty girl. But Ariana Lipsky, just little by little, I think in her last fights has looked better, and that's of course it'll take the week to
Yeah. Some real.
do some
We're
convincing and
looking at it
some
right
checking
now.
out.
If we compare,
Yeah.
they're the same height according to Tapology at 5'6". The reach advantage goes to O'Neal with 2 inches, 69 to 67. Uh, O'Neal's coming off of a loss to Jennifer Maya 8 months ago, and Lipsky got her split decision over Melissa Gatto.
And
And
JJ
JJ Aldrich
Aldrich.
before that was her, so she's on a 2 fight winning streak. Uh, Coming into that, her and that last fight was 5 months ago for her, so she's obviously been very active. I mean, this has got definitely a decision written all over it. I'm
Yeah,
sure
Casey
that
O'Neill.
fucking thing's already pretty high.
Casey O'Neill coming off of a big knee injury as well. I think she had to get her knee completely reconstructed.
Really? If that's fucking true,
Yeah,
8 months is way too fucking early to be taking a fight like
I
that.
I want to say yeah, that's what happened.
Because
Maybe it was before the Jennifer Maya fight, but I'm like
mhm.
97% sure that
Did she get her ass kicked in
she
that?
had a crazy
Do you remember?
the Maya fight.
Yeah, did she get her ass kicked?
I mean,
Here, I'll look it up
she
right
definitely didn't look good, that's for sure, and that's because Maya isn't the best striker.
now. Okay, so looking at the stats of it, you've got a pretty close fight. Looks like they did a typical chick fight where they smacked each other a million times. So Jennifer Maya was 145 out of 349 strike attempts for her significant strikes. And then O'Neal was 137 out of her 264. So the aggressiveness and landing just as much as the other one is how she was beaten. There was 0 for 4 takedown attempts. So just Jennifer was not able to take her down, and she did attempt. O'Neal attempted one takedown and did not get it as well. So it stayed on its feet, all except for a minute and 23 seconds of control time.
I want to say that was a like clinch
Yeah,
fence pushing.
yes, because it's only 23 seconds in the second round and 56 seconds in the third. So it seems like it was a typical WMMA fight that went to a decision, and everybody was just got back from going to the concession stand.
Yeah, and then like you look at the fight before that. I mean, she went to a split decision with old girl veteran Roxanne Modafferi, and it's like, how do you land 229 strikes against her
Yeah,
and get a split decision?
that's a tough one.
Ah,
I mean, chicks never quit though, so those fights are pretty hard to score too because they're always so goddamn close, and they land the same type, but then it's like whoever's more aggressive, you're like, okay, I'll give her that round. It makes it difficult because they're just landing so many strikes on each other all the damn time. Mm.
Another fun one is going to be Dustin Jacoby and Alonzo Menifield for however long it lasts.
Yeah,
I'm always like Dustin Jacoby, always have, but I'm always on the wrong side of his fights. It's like you'll catch me in the space saying, "Man, I'm a big fan of him, but I'm gonna go
yeah.
against him on this
And I
one." And then
hate
the
that.
next fight, I'm gonna say, "Oh man, I'm a big fan of him. He's definitely gonna win this one," and then he's gonna get meme KO'd in the first round. So.
Well, I mean, Dustin Jacoby definitely made me fucking sweat bullets when he got screwed in the Roundtree decision because
Oh
I
yeah.
had money on Roundtree for that, so I was like, oh my god, please don't tell me I was wrong. I'm like, I'm totally wrong. Jacoby's kicking his ass, and then they called out the winner, and I was like, fuck, thank you. That was a lucky pull out of there. I mean, this fight should be pretty good. Manfield's pretty strong. How much are they distance? Yeah, because I was about to say Manafield's pretty short. Well, not short. I'm short. He's 6 foot tall, and Justin Jacoby is 6'3". Same reach. I just feel like Dustin's got so much stand up, is so much better that I'd have a hard time, picking why. Because you'd think Manafield would have to get the knockout to win, but he can also get knocked out by Dustin Jacoby.
Yeah, yeah, and yeah, he's done me dirty on. Jacoby has fought like some of the fighters that I really really like when it comes to like Kennedy's and Chukwu and then Dawon Jung,
Yeah.
and those were one of those fights where I'm like, man, I like Jacoby, but I like Jung better, and I like Jacoby, but I like Zinchukwu better. I'm gonna go with Zinchukwu. And then he not only wins those fights, but he fucking ends it with like one punch in the first round, and it's
Mm-hmm.
like, oh yeah, I'm gonna go the over because Jacoby really he sticks to that kickboxing. Over 1.5 should be easy, and then he fucking
Yeah.
naps somebody in
Yeah.
one. So it's like, damn it.
Yeah, that was a bad one. I mean, I think that too. This could go over. They're both old.
Yeah, we're
They're
definitely
both
gonna get
over
one and a
yeah,
half.
35 and 36 years old. Yeah, I would go over. What's that sitting at right now?
Yeah, we're gonna go over and Jacoby money line, and then Metafield's gonna get a knockout with one punch, and he's gonna
Nice.
be like, son of a bitch. Just
Yeah.
when Jacoby looks like he's ready to make the leap and he's on a win streak and this and that,
All right,
fucker.
the over 1.5 is actually not even fucking good. It's a moderate. It's fucking minus 205. So they're already seeing it the same way.
Yikes. Yep. Might as well put a little
Yeah.
sprinkle on Minifield KO because Jacoby's gonna screw me anyways.
Yeah, no shit. And he's a minus 255. He's a pretty high favorite. Started at 155 and has kind of just been dropping ever since. Then we get the Ian Gary thing. You sprinkle some on fucking Vicente just so you can say you did it.
Ah, man, I do not like Ian Gary.
Mm.
I was starting to turn around on his fighting style because at least I'll respect the talent. But honestly, I know a lot of people are just going with the hate and thinking, "Nah, Vicente's gonna knock him out." I think this could be a pretty good opportunity for Gary to style on him and just jab him up, kick him from the outside, and get away.
Mm-hmm. I mean, the only chance is the puncher's chance, and Vicente's got the power to do it. He didn't look really good in his last fight, but I hope he does it for all of us. It would be so great. What's up, Daniel? How you doing, brother?
I'm doing great, y'all. How y'all doing?
Oh, we're having fun. Just talking about our do's and don'ts from this last card yesterday, and kind of flipping over into some early sites that we're doing some research on for Saturday.
Oh, believe me, I regret not picking Santos over Edgar. I just freaking knew I should not have picked Edgar.
Yeah. But she was hot and she smiled in one of her photos, so you had to take the bet. I understand.
No, it's because she's been on a 3-fight winning streak, even though she missed weight. I was like, I don't know, maybe Edgar will make her pay for missing weight. No, she just laid on top of her, used her weight advantage, and yeah,
Yeah, those ones are rough to watch. I'm kind
yeah.
of mad at the Park one because I think that was a horrible
Which one?
decision. Freaking Park versus Mayara. How do you say his last name?
Iron Turtle versus
Iron
Maniz.
Turtle versus Mingis. That's how you say it. Yeah, so the Iron
Oh,
Turtle
Iron.
fight was
Yeah,
that pissed me off.
I was pissed off at that one
I
too.
mean, I had bets on like second round, and I think I put in a first round as well, hoping on the quitting aspect of it, and then to watch it today, I was like, I'm fucking pissed. This is stupid. There's no way he lost that fight. I mean, rounds 1 and 3 are easily scored for him.
Yeah, I was screaming with Rob and his space turtle power, man, like Cowabunga Ninja Turtles from the
Heck
'90s.
yeah.
We were all chanting that.
That's funny. Yeah, Rob, he's always
Yeah,
got a good fun time for during the fight.
yeah.
He ain't got no one to talk to. He sent me a
You know who I'm most interested on this fight card. I'm gonna say his name wrong, but Samil Gazvi.
in the next card.
Yes, he was from the Contender Series. And he won, and he was the main event, and he won by rear naked choke. I'm looking forward to how he is in the
Who's
UFC.
he fighting?
Martin Bude.
Day.
He's the second fight.
Yeah, Dan, I'll let you know. I'm probably going to try to take a shot on Shamil just because Martin Boudet has never been good, but I feel like his last performance he looked way better than he ever expected, and now people are going to be hyping him up, and he's probably not a rightful favorite here, but that's just going off of memory and stuff. That's a fight that I am interested
I know
in as well.
I know Boudet is a past like gamer and then just got into competition is how he got into like MMA. He doesn't have like a background of being like some badass camp or anything or wrestling for many years. He like picked it up as a hobby. That's how he got into mixed martial arts.
Really?
Yeah.
That's interesting.
Yeah, I was like, because I lost money on him on fucking Jake Collier because I thought Jake Collier was gonna beat him. Because I was like, not only did he not really impress me in any of his tape, but I was like, hold on, he came from freaking video gaming, sitting on a couch, and then started like just got back in shape. Now he's competing in UFC. I was like, this is insane. But now he's definitely showing that he can stand. I mean, I would have to watch some more of his opponent's fights. Samil, I think I've watched a couple of them. The contender
That's
series
another
one,
one
I
of
definitely
those.
did.
That's another one of those where it's like, for me, the rule has always been you get low level heavyweights, you hit that over, especially when it's 1.5, and they got over 1.5 at -200 right now. Son of a bitch. Hopefully,
Yeah.
Shamil will actually get it done in the first round.
I think he will because I mean we all saw. Well, I saw that episode of Contender Series, and he really went all out. So I think the hype train. I don't think there is a hype train. I just think he's going to show that he belongs in the UFC.
Let's see. If we look at Shamil's background outside of the UFC, of course, he fought a bunch of cans until he was 7-0. And then he fought a guy who was 13-0-1, and he beat him in a split decision. That guy's name was Kirill Kornilov. And then his
Never heard of
yeah, I
him,
mean,
but
it's a
I'm looking
nobody
at it.
because it's out in freaking Russia. And then at Brave, he fought a 4-1 fighter. Pavel Dalutko, and he knocked him out in the second round. Then he fought a 17-5 guy named Darko that he beat in the first round in 2 minutes and 50 seconds. And then he got his contender series where he got the rear naked choke in the first round. So he does also have quite a amateur career that goes from 2018 to 21, and he lost twice in that. Once he was rear naked choked, and he lost his first fight to another debuter that was a unanimous decision. So the guy's definitely got a lot of experience for sure. So if he has a dog, that's not a bad bet at all, and I'm totally with you.
Well, he did bring the dog out. I mean, in the contender series, like I remember, he just like slaughtered that guy the whole time before he finally choked out this Greg Velasco guy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, let's see, what's he looking at right now? I see him on Bet Online for plus 141 is what he's sitting at right now. What did he open at? See, this is the fun part. Let's see. It started off with Day just being a negative 200 moderate favorite, and it's went as it's actually at kind of his lowest, being at the 161 right now, because it was at minus 180 back on the 26th. So I think some people are starting to see some value in it and kind of jumping on it right now. Not a bad pick though, because I don't think Boudet is going to be any real competitor in the future. Thanks for wasting some of my money already, Daniel.
I'm just going by what I see.
Yeah.
And also, he trains with the hold on, KHK MMA team. You know they got monsters over there.
Well, if fucking Boudet takes my money again, I'm never betting on him again. Because he got me last time. Any other fights you're looking at on that?
Well, as for a newbie, just him. I mean, my other favorites are definitely Randy Brown. I missed that guy. Got him submission round 2. Andre Philly, I'm gonna stick with the decision. And well, most definitely looking forward to the most is Pantoja versus Royval. I mean, he already beat him once before, so I'm gonna go with the champion again on this one.
Yeah, I mean, to already have a win over it
Yes.
definitely helps. And
Then there's the
Pantoja's really good. I agree.
oh yes, yeah. Then the one before that, Rock Monov.
Yeah.
I'm a look.
Shavkat.
I
Just call
had
him
one.
Shavkat. That's what I go.
Yeah, Shavkat. Yeah, I'll be honest. I had Wonder Boy Thompson, but then I found out Shavkat trains out of Florida with Killcliff. I'm like, nope. I have family out there, so I got Scott. Hold on, Shavkat by KO. That means submission round 1.
Round 1.
Round 1.
Man, when that fight was first announced, the first thing I said is that they're gonna give us that over at 1.5, and I think that's the smart play right there. I know everybody thinks. I mean, and Shav, not like everybody thinks he's a killer for a good reason. He's never not finished someone, but Wonder Boy's gonna match him on the size. He's probably is gonna get mauled on the floor, but Shavkat's gonna
He's a heck of a
want to flex
dog.
his striking. I won't take Wonder Boy, but literally since this fight was announced, I said I'm probably gonna take a stab at Shavkat by decision or unanimous decision, something like that.
You know what? for some reason can see that too. Like this will be his first ever decision win, but I'm sticking with the 100% finish rate. So still submission round one.
Ah, he's 40, man. Something's not going to happen. And this kid's too hot coming there. I mean, I've always been a Wonder Boy fan. He's a great fighter, amazing talent.
Me too.
How quick he can come in, land some of the strikes you've never seen before. I mean, he terrifies everybody with his leg kicks and his body kicks, everything. His style's amazing. It's a one of a kind karate style. It's transitioned very good to MMA. We'll definitely see if he can really take this guy on and make it 3 rounds. I mean, it's definitely good that it is a 3 rounder for his sake, because I definitely don't think he would want to do 5 rounds with this kid. Uh, but yeah, if it gets to the ground or anything like that, that's what it's stating for. But I'd probably sprinkle on Stephen Thompson just for the hell of it, because it's such a crazy odds for him. What do you got, Usman? You got your hands up. There's 3 of us. You don't need no hands up.
Hey! I don't want to cut you off just because I have something that just looks very fucking interesting. It's either this is an easy fucking parlay for all of us to make good money on, or we're gonna get burned bad. Just listen to this fucking. So Thompson Rachmanov over 1.5 minus 180. Ferguson Pimblett over 1.5 minus 220. Vicente Luque Ian Gary over 1.5 minus 210. Alonzo Menafield Dustin Jacoby over 1.5 minus 205. That Shamil versus Boudet fight over 1.5 minus 200. Muslim Salikov Randy Brown over 1.5 minus 265. Like all these 1.5s are chalk the fuck up at that over. And it's like everybody is betting the exact same way on these fights. Like I said, that's easy. That's either it's going to be an easy fucking night for parlaying 2, 3 of them, or we're going to see a lot of fucking finishes and they're all going to be in the first round and everybody's going to get burned.
Usman, I only see one fight. I actually see 2 fights going by decision. So I agree with you 1,000,000%. Other than Philly decision, I'm gonna go with Machado Gary by decision.
Gary. Give a shit about Gary and his gay ass name.
His name is Machado. Get it right. It's not Gary. It's Machado.
That's what I said, Machado Gary.
No, I
Machado
was talking shit to
Gary.
Rhino.
No, we're
Oh,
just gonna make him Machado. Like he loses his man name completely. Should also change his name to Kieran. Ah, I mean, who knows? I'm wondering whether or not Tony Ferguson's gonna like be alive, or what the hell's gonna happen in this. Because as much as I don't think Patty Pimblett's anything to really brag about for the future, Tony Ferguson terrifies the living shit out of me of doing anything smart. He's gonna have no game plan. I think he's gonna probably go out and like fight wild and stuff like that, and maybe he can do it. But I just don't see him winning. He's too old. He's too freaking crazy. Good luck. You doing anything on that fight?
yes,
What do you
I
got?
think Ferguson snaps his losing streak
Yeah.
by KO.
I don't know. Doing that crazy camp, you really think that he's gonna come in like a freaking Mighty Morphin Power Ranger, huh? I mean, he goes off with David Goggins and does some insane workouts, which what the heck did Tony Ferguson need to have an insane workout plan for like a gas tank? He's never had a gas tank problem in his entire fucking career. If you wanted to go see a new gym, why don't you go to a new fucking gym for maybe give you some stand up for once in your fucking career?
Well, Dan, I'll say that on behalf of the Cap MMA crew, we always appreciate you coming over here and showing up to our spaces, giving input. You've been the usual for a while now. If you're gonna be betting on Tony Ferguson, don't show up on Friday because people are going to shit on you, man. And as a
Yeah.
huge Tony Ferguson fan, I will just be there quiet and wiping my tears away because it's gonna start a 30-minute just shit fest on Tony Ferguson. So we appreciate you coming by, but just to let you know, everybody in the room is going to throw their turds at you like some monkeys.
He can take it. Daniel can take it. He was like, I'll bring it out. There's a lot of people that blew a ton of money on freaking Anthony Smith, so don't worry.
Oh, I didn't. I didn't even bet. I had the round tree all the way. I told Rob. I said the tree will fall on Lionheart in round two. It ended up
Yeah.
falling on him in round three, but I still had. I
Almost
knew.
happened in round one.
Yeah, but I was betting more on two. But it
Yeah.
happened on round three.
Yeah, he had Stangy like in first round.
Oh
So
yes, I
he
saw
knew
it.
it was going to happen.
Yes.
It's a crazy time. A lot of people love it. And then the main event. Does Colby Covington actually freaking come back after being gone since like Vietnam? And then comes back in here and now he's going to just completely not hug Leon Edwards for 5 rounds? Or does he get caught with a head kick?
Oh man, um, I had fallen for Colby shtick for a while and was like starting to like him a little bit more. And I've always hated Leon Edwards. My first live event was Leon Edwards versus RDA, and that shit almost put me to sleep in that main event.
Mm-hmm.
Um, I've always hated Leon Edwards. I don't understand how people like him.
Yeah.
But I don't know, man. I feel a lot of people are on the fucking Colby side and they're saying like, oh, it's a different type of wrestling compared to Usman and he's gonna constantly be shooting on him. He's gonna put volume on takedowns and strikes on him. It's like completely different. And I don't know. I think Leon's probably gonna win this one pretty easily with the jab, a leg kick, and then just being way stronger in the clinch, putting him up against the fence. Like I feel like we might see a fight where like Leon Edwards is gonna do what Usman did to Masvidal the first time when he just held him up, stomped on his feet, or actually
Stomped on his feet.
we might see fucking Usman versus Tyron Woodley fight where it was just like very boring and an easy to score beatdown, but nobody would had their eyes open at the end of that fight.
Yeah, no kidding. That's crazy that the welterweight division doesn't really give too much excitement as they used to. Used to be some of the best freaking brawls, and now recently it's either a knockout that comes out of nowhere, yeah, or we're watching these one-sided snooze fests that you're like, yeah, he won. I just woke up, but I know he won. Colby's got this is I think his last chance. There's no doubt about that. If he ever wants to be a real champion, then an intern champion. This is his shot because if he loses this quick, they're call it bye bye. You know, what was he even have really a reason to fight? Who would really want to fight him? I guess if he is that big fight to make just because of his name and his trash talking stuff. I don't know, but this is definitely his last hurrah. So he does train like a crazy man. I'd like to see them stand next to each other. Leon Edwards is supposed to be 6'2" compared to Colby's 5'11". So I'd like to see if they really are that much a difference. 2-inch reach advantage and 3 inches taller. Because there is definitely one thing: Colby gets punched. He does have a hell of a chin, but he does get punched. So I never Really like that when it's guys that do take a lot of strikes in their game style. He's also very aggressive, where Leon Edwards is a big counter striker. Uh, that doesn't really help him a lot. So I think the line looks fairly good right now. We got minus 145 for Leon Edwards and plus 125 for Colby. So that's a pretty good line sitting right in the make your pick. You're not making too much of it. Does it go into longer rounds? What did they make this? Plus fucking or a 4.5 or something? Oh yeah, over 4.5 is minus 240. God, they're thinking everything's gonna be a snooze fest on this goddamn card, huh?
I didn't
Fucking
know that Kobe's 5'11" and Leon's 6'2", if I'm reading this wrong Tapology.
that's what it says on Tapology. I can look at UFC's UFC stats. They have same thing. They have 6'2", 5'11", 74-inch to 72.
All right. Well, with that saying, I think this will go into the later rounds. I think Kobe has the superior ground game, so he's gonna, take the punches, but bring to the ground. And I see a submission by Covington round 4.
I mean, that definitely, if everything goes his way. I mean, Colby has to take it to the ground. There's no ifs, ands, buts about it. He has to. That's his game style. He's going to do the lay and pray, breakdown, because if it stays up on his feet, he's definitely not going to win scorecards. He's not just going to outbox Leon Edwards and win scorecards or something like that. So his wrestling is going to play a big feature into it. This is his last hurrah. I know he does get hit a lot, and Leon Edwards has those great. When the guys push forward like that, and you're known for being a counter striker, it's not a good game plan. So, and we have seen Leon Edwards obviously working on his takedown defense. Yeah, kind of like what Usman said, that it's different from compared of Marty to Colby. They are both different into that, but it's the same thing. This is MMA. You use the same techniques to stop these takedowns, and they're going to be focused on it. And he did pretty damn good. I don't think Leon Edwards takes Colby down in this fight. That I don't really see happening. That would be crazy if he took them both down. Yeah. But till then, I'd say I think the line's probably going to go more. I bet we're at minus 200 by game time for Leon Edwards to win it. And if Colby pulls it off, he proved me wrong. Because I'm not on his side to say that he pulls it off and wins it. He doesn't have
Y-
enough. I know he doesn't have enough finishes in my book. He's kind of too many of a decision king and that type of stuff. He does put on some good fights though, so it should be entertaining as hell.
Yeah, I think it's crazy that out of the whole card, only the Royval Pantoja fight and the Almeida Feely fight are have a plus money number on that over. Everything, according to the lines, is expected to hit the over this weekend.
Yeah, man, that's a lot of snoozing. All these minus 200s on all that. Well, then I guess if they're going to be that one, we got to start picking out which one they're wrong on.
A
You know what I
hundred
mean?
percent, 100%. I'll be real interested to see what
Because
the split strat has to say about this weekend.
yeah, because if they're making that mindset to think all these fights are going to decisions, then everybody's kind of going with that mindset. I mean, Colby's it's this one minus 220. I mean, but you'd also want the under to be a decent odd to even take the chance. Like I'd be willing to do it under 1.5 for the Vicente and Ian Gary fight. because I can see Vicente going wild and them trading in the first round. And maybe it seems like Vicente's chin's starting to get a little questionable. And I don't think Ian Gary can really take a punch because he almost got finished at 3 fights ago. And then he didn't finish freaking, who's the long time Neil Magny. Like, come on. And
Yeah,
then he
but
had to
he
flip him off
could.
like a 5-year-old.
But he could have finished Neil Magny. That was just that. That's why I think everybody has just got a lot of reasons to just hate on Ian Gary and just pick against him.
Mm-hmm.
Um, because he had fucking Ian Gary limping and rolling and falling all over the damn
Yeah.
place.
Yeah.
Like, if he would have just pressed the action just a little bit more, that was gonna be a done fight. And then, on the Vicente Luque side, the reason why I think that one will go over is ever since the whole brain bleed fucking thing, people thought RDA was gonna beat him. And then what did he
Mm-hmm.
do in the RDA fight? Just went ahead and really implored his wrestling and made that fight stretch out a lot.
No, he kind of cut out right there. And now his mic's muted. Yeah, right there, Usman. I guess we'll.
Yeah, yeah. You got me.
Yeah, we can hear you now.
Yeah, no, I mean that's why I think that fight will hit the over 1.5. So we'll see, man. We'll see. Real interesting lines, fucking a week out.
That's true. And hopefully, we don't lose any fights because there's definitely a lot of names on here. It's always kind of fun when you just recognize everybody. So, are you going to go on the Bryce Mitchell train and he's just going to come in and smoke Josh because he's old?
Yeah, yeah, probably. I mean, you're right about Josh definitely going to be able to land. But I like Bryce Mitchell, and I
I
want
mean,
him to
he's
win.
going to be huge to him. I mean, he's 5'10. Josh is 5'6. He just better
No,
not get caught on that run in, because he does come in hot. Bryce comes in hot with those takedowns, and guys like Josh Emmett are ones that can catch you pretty fucking hard because he does have a lot of speed and a lot of power. So if you're gonna take Emmett, it's the knockout. He ain't winning by decision or anything like that. He ain't submitting him. So that's the only thing to sprinkle on if you want it, or you go with the decision for Mitchell. I don't even think he would really submit Josh because I really
I
don't think
think
he's that fucking good.
I think the big telling part about this fight was the UFC had a lot of options. They had Aljamain Sterling asking to take this fight, and they
Mm-hmm.
said, no, let's not put our ex champion in that fight, whether it's an easy win or not for him." They had Diego Lopez, and they said, "Yeah, let's not put this Brazilian Mexican that's got a lot of fan base and has had really good performances." They could have done the Edson Barboza fight because they have history, and that fight fell out. And instead, they went with Bryce Mitchell, and I think that just goes to show you that they were like, "Let's give Bryce Mitchell the rub." I think that
I mean, it's
I
kind of he took a decent amount of damage in that Dan Ige fight. So to come back 2 months ready to rock, ugh, I don't really think it was that good of a decision. But I mean, if you think you're ready to, you know, take 3 rounds, more power to you. I don't know how much time you really spent in the gym since that, because that was a tough fight on him. I mean, it's not like it was an easy first round finish or something like that. Because he took his first loss to Poria, and then I think he kind of snuck by in the Dan Ige fight because he did win the rounds, but he came pretty close to almost getting finished at the end of the third round. So now to come in here, I mean, the only thing that he has going for him is uh, they lost to the same person. I mean, but Taporia went to a decision, and I think that was a 5-round fight. So, I mean, Josh Emmett ain't no fucking nobody. If he does
Yeah,
knock him out, it wouldn't shock me because his fucking stand up sucks. Bryce Mitchell doesn't. He's
the,
all grappling. He's all grappling submission.
and this is where like I disagree with you. It's like I'm not gonna say he's a great striker, but I do think that he makes his striking work for his game plan. Like, like I said, I'm not gonna say Bryce Mitchell is a striker or a great
Mm-hmm.
striker, but people were talking so much shit on him after that Taporia fight. And when you go back, go look at the stats right now. I think Taporia outstruck him by just one strike. Um, when you actually look at the fight, Mitchell did pretty good with the teep kicks. He landed pretty good. Like, I think, and I'm not talking about you specifically because you're not the only person that feels this way, but I just think people saw the Taporia fight and were just like, yeah, he sucks. And yeah, his striking ain't that good. But Dan Ige has got good striking too, man. It's like it's hard to say that he's got horrible striking because when you looked at it, Khabib had ugly ass striking
Mm-hmm.
and his striking worked for what he wanted to do in the fight.
Well, yeah, because that's the grappler style of striking. You just try to like smack him in the head, and then surprise, I'm doing a double leg takedown. So that style, I mean, he's got the striking for it. I just think that the more his takedowns get stuck, the more he's just going to start eating up strikes because he can't stand there for too long. He can't. Let me ask you this: do you think he can afford to have a fight where he only takes somebody down twice? I think Bryce Mitchell needs more than 2 takedowns in a fight to secure his wins because that's his style of fighting. If he ends up being on the feet, I think the scorecards are going to somebody else.
I think Josh Emmett wins by TKO in round 3.
Okay. Just because he's not able to get the finish, Bryce is not able to get the grappling game going, and now he gets a little tired from doing all them stupid takedowns and finally gets swashed.
Yes, because Emmett has more wins by decision. He has
Mm-hmm.
10. Mitchell has 7. So I think with that saying, Josh Emmett can pace himself better. He can make this his fight. But I'm gonna squeeze in that possible TKO in round 3 because Mitchell's never had a TKO knockout finish, but Emmett has 4.
Mm-hmm.
Actually, I'm sorry, 4. He had 6. So that's why I say TKO round 3.
Sounds good. All right, well, guys, I think we'll call it a night at this point. I do want to say that we do have our big show, usually always on Tuesdays, with the best voice on X Space, Joe, over here, who hasn't even given us any claps or a smiley face. Like, how rude. But he's going to be on 10 p.m. Eastern Time, Tuesday nights, talk a little bit of random new fights, random topics, and everybody also gets to make jokes of each other. On Friday, we'll do a whole breakdown with Trace. He usually does his at 9. Guests, you never know, but you'll always find out when you see some posts about who he gets to come on and talk some fight language with us. Other than that, guys, check out capmma.com for the line movements and all kinds of resources to do some research on these fights so you don't end up blowing all your money on Tony Ferguson like Dan is. Other than that, guys, I'll see you guys later. Thanks for watching, and it was fun to have Dylan on our show tonight because that was pretty funny. You got anything, Usman, before we go?
No, sir. CapMMA.com. Y'all have a good night.
Daniel,
Y'all
you want to
too.
say anything?
Nah, it's just y'all have a successful week, and
Talk to
get
you
ready for
Tuesday.
Saturday.
See you guys on Tuesday night. Later.
See you.